welcome. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Poonam Burde. Over the weekend, when all of India was discussing cricket in Uttar Pradesh, there was Hungama of another kind that was brewing. The Yogi Adityanath government banned items with halal certification in the state with immediate effect. Meat, certain medicines and certain cosmetics are exempt, as are exports. But this ban comes after Lucknow police cracked down against a few organizations for allegedly exploiting people's religious sentiments to boost sales by providing forged halal certificates. The case was registered against third-party organizations that provide halal certification to all of these products. There are at least 4 organizations that were booked for criminal conspiracy for promoting enmity between different groups, for extortion and for cheating. Now, halal refers to what's permissible as far as the Islamic law is concerned. It is usually associated with Islamic dietary laws. It refers to food that can be procured, processed and traded in compliance with the Islamic belief. But what started out as a certification for meat and meat products has now been extended to many other products, including cosmetics, including clothing in some places throughout the decades. While imposing this ban, the Uttar Pradesh government said that this is a parallel system and that was untenable under Section 89 of the Food Law of the Food Safety and Standards Act. The Halal Trust, one of the accused named in this FIR, has now already challenged this decision. They're soon to knock on the doors of the courts. The Halal Trust is claiming it is a matter of choice for individuals and for manufacturers, and it suits the requirement both for exports and for domestic distribution. First up, let's take a deeper delve into what exactly is the UP government's rationale. Now, in a statement, the state government alleged there were malicious attempts by a few to weaken the country. The state government warned of legal action against any individual or firm that was engaged in the production, storage, distribution, buying or selling of halal certified medicines, medical devices and cosmetics within Uttar Pradesh. Here's what they said on why that ban was needed. The Yogi Adityanath government said that there is unrestrained propaganda that is being disseminated, which is why this ban was required. They also said that discouraging of goods was happening because of halal certificates. If there was some good that did not have a halal certification, then people would not buy that, and that was seen as an unfair trade practice. They also said that business interests of other communities are also being harmed because there is this racket that is running as far as halal certification is concerned. This is a pre-planned strategy, the government said, to sow hatred, to create divisions within society. This is also an unfair financial practice. It benefits only to a certain class, is what the state government said. This halal certification is a parallel system. It creates confusion. It is not a good sign for public health, public trust, which is why it needs to go, is what the state government said. So what are the two sides of this debate? One is that of the complainant, based on which an FIR was filed in Lucknow. The other side are the certification organizations that have been named as an accused. The complainant in this case, Shailendra Kumar Sharma, alleged that halal certification racket was being run by certain private agencies. The Jamiat said that these allegations are completely baseless. Now, Jamiat is one of the organizations that gives halal certifications in this country. They said this was nothing but a bid to tarnish their image. The FIR, which was filed in Lucknow, stated that certain certifications were given even when it was not required to products that didn't require these certifications, to which these certification agencies said that all that they're doing is adhering to regulations that were put in place by none other than the central government. The complainant highlighted that there was no legal authority in this country for certification of halal goods. Organizations like the Jamiat said that they are registered with the NABCB, which is supervised by the central government's ministry. There are anti-national elements that were being encouraged in the guise of these certifications, said the complainant. To which the Jamiat said that they will fight this misinformation legally, and like I pointed out just a few minutes ago, they are already deciding on their legal recourse. Now, in order to differentiate which ones are halal items and which ones are not, a certificate is issued for these products, informing the consumer that the product meets their standards or not. But what makes this a great territory is that the Indian government does not mandate halal certification. There is no unifying regulatory law or an official regulatory body that looks into this. There are private companies or third-party organizations like the Jamiat that issue these certificates in this country. Now, in 1974, we saw the certification in India begin just for meat and meat products. This is mandatory as far as exports are concerned, which is also why the Uttar Pradesh government has exempted items for export under this ban. In 1993, the certification was extended to many other products. Now, there is no specific labeling needs as far as what comes into India is concerned. Yes, exports require these, especially if you are sending these items to the Middle Eastern countries. But as far as what items come into India, there is absolutely no need for any of these specific labeling. There is a hungama that is brewing over this halal ban, but is it really valid? That's the debate that we are going to have here on Plain Speak. But before we open that up to our panelists, here's all you need to know about the political pot shots that have been taken so far.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हिंदू मुस्लिम करने का मौका मिल गया है हलाल प्रोडक्ट पे। अब उसको इससे मतलब नहीं कि उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था वो खराब होगी।
ये योगी सरकार का काम है, कैसे बंटवारा हो, कैसे आपस में लोगों के मतभेद हो, इनका काम है।
लगातार कई दिनों से ये शिकायत मिल रही थी कि खाद्य पदार्थों पर, कपड़ों पर हलाल सर्टिफिकेट किया जा रहा है। ये हलाल सर्टिफिकेट करना पूरी तरह से धोखेबाजी है। ये सांप्रदायिक सद्भाव को बिगाड़ने पर जो लोग दोषी निकल करके आएंगे उनके खिलाफ ठोस और कठोर कार्रवाई होगी, क्योंकि किसी को भी ये इजाजत नहीं दी जा सकती है कि किसी की धार्मिक भावनाओं को भड़काने की कोई चेष्टा करे।
Hello, Moto.
Joining me on this debate on Plain Speak, Sharad Trivedi, spokesperson of the BJP, Mohammad Tariq Khan, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Mohammad Farhan, AIMIM spokesperson, and Sanjay Rana, political analyst, join us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for speaking with us and sharing your perspective. But let me begin by asking the spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Mr. Tariq Khan. You know, the action that the UP government has taken, this is as far as dairy products, as far as namkeen, as far as edible oils are concerned, and the halal certification on that is concerned. The state government says that this is in accordance to the 2006 law as far as food safety is concerned. Then why are we blocking a probe? Why make following the law an issue?
Nothing like that. If there is a probe or there is an issue, government have full right to have a probe over that and see what is the matter and what is really happening. The point is that it's just a row. We have a row over hijab, we have a row over Lulu Mall Namaz. So it's just another point to make and to deviate from the main issue. It's just the BJP politics, nothing else. National accreditation boards or certification and bodies allows them to issue halal certificate. Now, why you are not asking this board to stop them to allow certificates? And if in case they stop allowing these certificates, will it not going to affect the sale of that particular board? Point number one. If it's not going to affect the sale of that particular board, is it going to affect our overall exporting product, which we have been exporting to another countries? Divide the whole scenario in two parts. One is within the nation, one is our relation with other countries. Suppose people who are sitting in Arab or the people who are sitting in Gulf nation, they are not seeing that you are going to ban products which are halal. So sale of the company which are exporting goods over there and selling over there is going to affect there. It's just the matter of economics. It's just a matter of sales. We are above. We are just approaching the politics in a manner of religion. See it in a manner of business. It's a business. It's going to affect the business or sales of that particular company in India, abroad as well.
Sure.
56 nations already there. They're seeing that what is halal or
sure. So,
haram.
Mr. Khan, you're saying this is all about the economics, is all about the money.
Yes,
let's not bring religion
seen.
into it, because that's exactly what many within your party have also said, that this is just the BJP trying to divide. So, which one is it? Is this not about religion? Is this just about the economy?
No. BJP is trying to make it religious. It's not the matter which is directly concerned with religion. NCBC, this is the board. Why did they have allowed them to issue this type of certification?
Sure.
Now they are saying that this board have allowed us to provide certificate because there is also one point. People who are buying your product outside India, which just want halal product, they are saying that we want this certification. Now same certification.
And there is no ban on that. As far as exports are concerned, there is no ban on the certification. This is only for domestic distribution.
Now, the board have not asked these people that this certification is only for the exporting product or for India. They have also started here. This is the responsibility of the board to ask them that why you are starting this halal certification over here. Board should ask them.
Sure. So let me get in the spokesperson of the BJP as well. Sharat Trivedi, one of the reasons why the UP government decided to ban this is because they said that this parallel system creates a confusion, creates an atmosphere of confusion. But you have your critics, you have your rivals come out and say that what you are doing in fact is creating confusion, because all that the outside world is going to look at is there is a ban on halal certification and perhaps take a step back. And that is only going to affect the exports that India makes.
Poonam, the real story is that these are the people who are being issued certificate. They do not have the authority to issue the certificate. The second thing is they are issuing certificates for the products which do not need it. And the third is for people who are gullible, who are innocent, who are not a very high degree of literacy. We all know the degree of literacy in the Muslim families. So this is a criminal conspiracy to increase the sale of products among the people who do not understand one word of it. And then the products which are being certified halal do not need it. We do not cut the neck of the bees to make honey. We do not cut the necks of people to make furniture. Clothes do not need any such certificate. The tea does not need. Masalas do not need. We do not cut throats to do that. This is a pure and simple criminal conspiracy to increase profits by cheap publicity. And now they are saying that it is Hindu-Muslim. There is nothing to do with Hindu-Muslim. It is only Muslim-Muslim. It is the Muslim gullible people who are being befooled by a criminal conspiracy in an organized manner to increase their sale. It has nothing to do with any other community. And this is just pure and simple criminal conspiracy by people who do not have any authority to issue such certificates. We are not stopping it. If people abroad need such certificates, whatever, that's fine. No problem. You issue any certificate abroad as long as they are happy about it.
Sure, you say that these are not authorities, but Mr. Trivedi, India does not have a unifying regulatory body. There is no regulatory body as far as issuing halal certificates are concerned. These are third-party organizations, and like the Samajwadi Party spokesperson was also pointing out, these organizations are affiliated with a central board which comes under the central government. There is supervision. They have gotten their accreditations from the union government.
Poonam, the central board has not issued any certificate permitting them to issue further certificates. If I do not get a driving license on time, that does not mean that I produce my own driving license and start driving. I have not been authorized to do that. This is pure and simple criminal conspiracy to increase sale. We have nothing to do with it.
Sure.
The Bharatiya Janata Party has nothing to do with it at all.
Sure, Mr. Khan, yes, you had a rebuttal to make.
There is one more point we need to focus, that why these companies who are selling a product has been required to ask these halal companies to provide them certificate. Why? Because they know that the board has given them power to give us this type of seal. And they have given the seal, they have given the authority to seal them here in India as well as abroad. They must divide them that in India there is something else, or abroad there is something else. It's not been specified by the board. Mr. BJP spokesperson, I want to just clarify that a board should clarify this, that there is a boundary between whatever we deal in India or we deal with abroad. So divide it between that. So what board has done, they haven't divided anything between the borders. What is happening to exporting, same thing is happening, something is sold in India as well. So now government has started divided, we have no issue. If there is a problem, divide it and tell them specifically that there is no requirement to have all this type of thing. But in case, if some people or the Hindus have issue with something involved with cow or cow dung or like that, or the masses of cow, and Muslim have issues with pig, we must see all those things, that these things should be taken in consideration, and then government should take action accordingly. That's it.
Sure. So this was a premature decision that was taken, a knee-jerk reaction, many of the critics are saying. I request you both gentlemen to stay on with us, and I'd like to get in the AIMIM spokesperson as well. Mr. Farhan, काफी सारे allegations हैं कि जो पैसा कमाती है ये हलाल सर्टिफाइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जैसे जमियात, इनके जो फंड्स हैं वो आतंकी एंटी इंडिया प्लॉट्स को फंड करने के लिए यूज करते हैं। ये काफी सीरियस एलिगेशन है कि इसकी जांच नहीं होनी चाहिए।
देखिए, जहां बात जांच की है तो बिल्कुल जांच कराइए, और जांच कराने के बाद आपको तथ्य सामने निकल के आएंगे कि क्या है क्या नहीं है। मगर एक बात मैं कहना चाहूंगा, ये जो सरकार का ये फैसला है बड़ी जल्दीबाजी में लिया हुआ फैसला है। आपको पिछले वर्ष का मैं डाटा बताना चाहता हूँ। वर्ष 2022 और 2023 में 1.97 टन का निर्यातक रहा है अपना भारत देश, और वर्ल्ड में तीसरी पोजीशन होल्ड करता है, और नेक्स्ट ईयर दूसरी पोजीशन होल्ड करने वाला है अपना देश। अब आप ये जानिए कि ये जो मीट वर्ल्ड के बाहर अदर कंट्रियों में, चाहे वो सऊदी अरब हो, कुवैत हो, दम्माम हो, जद्दा हो, या दुबई हो, या यूएस की कंट्रियां हुई, जो फ्रांस हुई, या तो आपकी जर्मनी हुई, जिन कंट्रियों में ये हलाल मीट बिकता है, इसमें जानते हैं जो सर्टिफिकेट है वो जीत की मतलब, तो मुसलमान वहां पर फॉरेन कंट्री में लेंगे ही नहीं इसको, मुसलमान लेने को तैयार ही नहीं होंगे। रही
बट
बात
पाबंदी सर निर्यात पे है ही नहीं, ना ही मीट प्रोडक्ट्स पे है।
सुनिए मैडम, मैं आपको बता दूं, ये पाबंद आपने देखा होगा, सीधा सीधा उनका स्टेटमेंट है। उन्होंने कहा है कि हम ये टोटली इसको बैन करेंगे। टोटली एक चीफ मिनिस्टर की तरफ से ये स्टेटमेंट है कि हम टोटली इसको बैन करेंगे, हलाल शब्द को ही हटाएंगे। ये जिस चीज को टारगेट करके इन्होंने किया है और सोचा इसका हमें वोट का फायदा मिलेगा, वोट का तो फायदा मिले ना मिले मुझे नहीं पता, मगर ये जरूर है कि भारत की जो अर्थव्यवस्था है वो बहुत नीचे आ जाएगी। ये हमारे लिए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। हलाल मीट आप रखिए, हलाल मीट न रखिए, हमें पता है कि कौन चीज हलाल है, कौन चीज हराम है। इन शब्द को हम अच्छी तरीके से समझते हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी वालों को ये शब्द समझने की जरूरत है। अब देखिए, हलाल में इन्होंने क्या 2-3 चीजों और जोड़ दी। इन्होंने कपड़ा भी जोड़ दिया और खाद्य पदार्थ भी जोड़ दिए। खाद्य पदार्थ और कपड़े पर हलाल या हराम का शब्द इस्तेमाल नहीं होता। हलाल का मतलब है जिस चीज की खाने की स्वीकार्यता, जिस चीज की खाने की स्वीकार्यता है उसमें हलाल है। बात आप समझ लीजिए। और जिस चीज की हमारे धर्म में खाने की स्वीकार्यता नहीं है वो हमारे लिए हराम है, ये हमें पता है। मगर मुस्लिम कंट्रियों में या फॉरेन कंट्रियों में जो मुसलमान रह रहे हैं वो सिर्फ यही लोगो देख करके कि हलाल, कि ये हलाल सर्टिफाइड है, तो उस चीज को खरीदते हैं। जब ये सर्टिफिकेट ही नहीं रहेगा, सर्टिफाइड ही नहीं रहेगा, उस पर टैग नहीं रहेगा हलाल का, तो वो एक भी पीस लेने को तैयार नहीं होंगे। तो इसका सबसे बड़ा नुकसान किसको होगा? भारत देश को होगा, भारत देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को होगा। मुसलमानों को नुकसान नहीं होने जा रहा है, क्योंकि बीफ की जितनी फैक्ट्रियां हैं उसमें से 75% फैक्ट्रियां वो हिंदू भाइयों की हैं, मगर मुस्लिम के नाम से वो केवल बीफ की फैक्ट्रियां चल रही हैं। सरकार को इस पर अवलोकन और अध्ययन करने की अति आवश्यकता है। ये सरकार का बड़ी जल्दीबाजी में फैसला है, मगर जब अभी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इसका अवलोकन करेगी तब उनको अपने फैसले को पुनः वापस लेना पड़ेगा। मैं तीसरा पॉइंट बताना चाहता हूं मैडम, दिल्ली और बॉम्बे के बाद उत्तर प्रदेश तीसरा बड़ा निर्यातक है, मतलब एक्सपोर्टर है। आप सोचिए, अगर यहाँ से हलाल का शब्द ही हट जाएगा, सर्टिफाइड चीज हट जाएंगी, तो उत्तर प्रदेश का जो मीट है वो कोई नहीं लेगा। और नुकसान किसको होगा? उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था को नुकसान होगा। और अगर उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था को नुकसान होगा तो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था का नुकसान होगा, क्योंकि ये जो देश की सबसे बड़ा राज्य उत्तर प्रदेश है।
जी जी फरहान जी, मैं आपकी बात समझ रही हूँ, बट मैं आपसे ये सवाल पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि आप जैसे कह रहे हैं कि ना कपड़ों पे ये लगना चाहिए, ना खाद्य पदार्थों पे ये लगना चाहिए, ये सिर्फ मीट पे होता है। जिनको पता है हलाल क्या है हराम क्या है उनको ये फर्क दिख जाता है। और एज फार एज सर्टिफिकेशन की बात है जो निर्यात के लिए हो रही है वो अभी भी लगी हुई है। तो अगर सिर्फ उस चीज से आपत्ति है और अगर वो अभी भी लगी हुई है जो निर्यात कर रहे हैं, तो फिर भी आप कहेंगे कि जो निर्णय गवर्नमेंट ने लिया है वो गलत है?
गवर्नमेंट में यूपी गवर्नमेंट ने इसका कोई मूल्यांकन नहीं किया, इसकी कोई अवलोकन नहीं किया, और इस पर जैसे एक होता नहीं आदेश, केवल राज्य आदेश जिसको कहते हैं, उसको जारी कर दिया गया। और एक सिर्फ वोट बैंक की राजनीति करने के लिए मैडम, और इससे जानते हैं इन्होंने टारगेट तो जिसको किया है बहुत सही किया है टारगेट, कि इससे क्या नाम बाइकॉट का ट्रेंड चलने लगा, मगर इनको नुकसान होगा, हमें को नुकसान नहीं है इससे। बिल्कुल आप हलाल का सर्टिफिकेट कंपनियों को भी बैन कर दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। जो उस पर लोगो लगता है हलाल को, उसको भी हटा दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, क्योंकि हमें पता है ना कि हम हलाल चीज खाते हैं और कहाँ से लेते हैं। ये उत्तर प्रदेश के हर मुस्लिम को पता है, उसको दुकान पता है, वो अपने सामने कटवाता है, अपने सामने लेता है, उसको कोई दिक्कत नहीं। मगर जो उत्तर प्रदेश से ये सामान एक्सपोर्ट होता है, जो बीफ एक्सपोर्ट होता है, उस पर इतना बड़ा असर पड़ेगा
जी।
कि भारत
तभी मैं पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि अगर उत्तर प्रदेश की आम जनता की जिंदगी में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा और निर्यात पे वैसे ही कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, क्या फिर भी आप कहेंगे कि यह निर्णय गलत है?
मैं देखिए, हमें ये निर्णय इनका इसलिए गलत लग रहा है क्योंकि इससे देश की जो अर्थव्यवस्था है वो कई पायदान नीचे खिसक के आ जाएगी। इस बात की हमें चिंता है, इसी वजह से हम इस निर्णय को गलत साबित कर रहे हैं। वैसे अगर उन्हें लगता है कि भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था खिसक रही, इससे आप छोड़ दीजिए, बाकी हम हर चीज पर ठीक है, तो हम भी इस फैसले का स्वागत करेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
ओके, संजय राणा,
इस बात की भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को
ठीक है, तो इकोनॉमी इज रियली व्हाट इज द इशू हियर, एवरीथिंग एल्स इज बैकग्राउंड साउंड, संजय राणा, दैट वी मस्ट नॉट लिसन टू, एंड आई वांट टू कम टू दैट इटसेल्फ. The halal global industry is a huge one. By 2027, the kind of prediction that has been made is upwards of $500 billion. So is it all just about the money, which is also why then we're seeing forgery of these certificates? That is a grave concern that must be dealt with as well.
Puna, good evening and good evening to your fellow panelists. It's very important for all of us to understand what is the industry and how trends are moving on. The current scenario, if you look at it, is $2.5 trillion business, and as for Foster and Sullivan report, is by 2030 is going to be $4.96 trillion. See the economy. This is number one point. Number two, when we talk about halal certificate on the food product, it's applicable only for the meat product, not for the all rest of the product. If they are insisting, I was listening very carefully to our Samajwadi Party spokesperson. He was talking about export. The UAE total export is $32 billion and Saudi Arabia is $10 billion per annum. So if you need to understand, does Coca-Cola has a halal certificate? No. Does L'Oreal has a halal certificate? No. So why you need a halal certificate in biscuits? Why need a halal certificate in toothpaste? Why need a halal certificate on masala and the food grains which we are eating? It is applicable on the meat product. And if you look at the meat product, I think none of the guys have any kind of data to compensate what they are saying the fact. If you look at India contributing 13%. Total meat production to UAE is a 13% India produce, followed by Brazil and Australia. So it's very important who is exporting what and what kind of product they are selling. So when we talk about the halal is only applicable in the case of meat. None of the other products should be halal certified, because it's a kind of economy which they are trying to build. If by this certificate they are trying to manipulate the business model. Suppose I'm manufacturing some product, I don't have a halal certification, then I cannot sell because it's creating a manipulation. Please understand, in the coffee, why you need halal? But halal certificate is there. So multiple things are there. We need to understand what is applicable, what is not applicable. One side they are talking about economy, other side they are talking about religion. A religion, obviously, if your belief is there, you need to eat, you have all the rights to eat what you want to eat as per your religion procedures. But you cannot force other people, you cannot force others to use the certificate because you want to do it. And I'm multiple example I can give you on the right away. All the products globally, all the Gulf countries using which color? L'Oreal color. All the Gulf countries using which brand? Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Does they have any certification? No. We need to understand what we are talking. Halal certificate is only applicable for the exporter or people those who are producing a meat product. It's nothing related to exporter, not exporting. Anyone who's believing in Muslim religion, they will not eat non-halal product. So that bifurcation is absolutely there. People need to understand what they are talking. Sometimes they after looking at all the debates and the panelists, they're absolutely confused. Sometimes talking about the economy. If you look at it, if you can ask the question to these people, how much export India does, no one has a number. But we are talking about impacting on our export. I'm giving the number. Now 2022 numbers $32 billion to UAE, and second one is Saudi Arabia. So what we are talking about, Kuwait, what we are sending to Kuwait. So you need to understand what we are selling, whom we are selling, what kind of product we are exporting. All the things are combined together. Then it make the conclusion and the comment. It's nothing related to economy. It will not impact because it's not applicable. The ban is not applicable on meat product. It's
Yes.
very categorically
And
mentioned.
neither is it applicable on exports, which has been the point of this
Yes,
discussion.
absolutely.
It is not
Yes.
applicable on exports. They're all exempt, which is why we don't.
Absolutely.
Which is why we have the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh actually asking what
I have a
really
point.
is the issue. Yes, Mr. Khan, go ahead. I actually have a question for you.
Really?
Yes, but
No,
go ahead.
No, let me have my point.
Sure,
That,
go ahead.
Okay, provided that we all know it's a fundamental fact now that this is only for this ban is only for India, not for abroad. Okay, that's fine, and we all okay with that. And we have a sequence of 6th or 7th number. We export maximum to Gulf nation at 6th to 7th number. So we also sit with data as well. So I am saying that we have an issue of halal in India, okay, and they at Gulf nation are really looking at ourselves. So this is going to not affect our overall export, that there is a issue in India itself, in their
So this is just
ecosystem,
about image.
they have a
Is that
issue
what you're
with
trying to say,
halal.
Mr. Khan? It's just
Yes.
about image. It's about the messaging that you're sending. So are you saying
That's
otherwise
what
the
I'm
ban
trying
is?
to say, that
So
you
you're
are
saying the
taking
ban is
that
okay
as
otherwise?
bad.
So are you saying
That's
the
what
ban
I'm
is
trying
okay
to say.
otherwise it just sends the wrong message? Is that what you're trying to
It's
say?
going to send. Listen, you cannot enter in the, and these country have allowed these firm Jamete Ulma Hind to provide certificate, and they provide these
Sure.
type of organization certification in all the nation. You cannot sell a single penny in these nation without
Sure.
certificate. So why we are creating an image in our nation? US doesn't have any type of these things. China doesn't have, and we are creating a halal issue in our nation.
It's
This
become
is
an
going
issue, sir, because there have been allegations of these funds being, of these certifications being forged, B, the money that comes from these forged certifications going into funding activities against India for terror activities as well. Those allegations are grave, which is why it's become an issue. It is something that we must talk about. But Sharat Trivedi, you had a point to make.
Poonam, here the message that is being sent across that BJP is against the meat exports, we are against the meat exporters, we are against the meat products, we are against the sale of these products. It has nothing to do with it. It has only got to do with a certificate which is being issued by people who are not authorized and who do not have any monitoring system on ground. Well, okay, fine. For argument's sake, we believe that yes, this certificate is perfect. Do they have a monitoring team on ground in all these factories where these products are being made? Are they making any spot checks that whether these products are halal certified? I'm talking about meat products. Forget about the kind of fake narrative that is being said it is against the Muslims. How do we make furniture halal? How do we make the honey halal? How are clothes halal? How are toothpaste, soaps?
And nobody
oil,
is saying all these things.
This is total pure fabrication and especially the problem with the Muslim community is that the information comes top down. They will not go look at the product, inquire about the product. So the person who's fixing puncture on the roadside, Abdul, is not going to go and ask for.
Sharaji, I have an issue. I have an issue. Just respond to me. Respond to me. That I have an issue. That who asked for this halal certification? Whether Muslim Personal Law Board has asked, whether Jamete Ulma Hind has asked, nobody has asked. Now, company who are manufacturing these products, these biscuits, these chocolates, whatever it is, they have gone to these halal certification agencies as well, that why you have approached them. This is also an issue. Who asked you? Who asked you? Whether the Muslim community have started agitation over the road that we want certification. Nobody have done all these things. They know what is the process. Muslims are well aware about the process of halal. They eat meat and they do everything in front of their eyes. So this is an issue, but it's an issue created in vacuum. There is nothing. But we are just tampering the image India have in front of Gulf nation, in front of Islamic nations, that we have an issue in ourselves, we have an issue in our nation regarding halal things. Now, the products which are coming to their nation, they look at them with suspect that whether India have an issue with halal thing, so it might going to affect our export. This is something serious. BJP should look at these concerns, stop the propaganda over these things. Nobody is asking for this certification. Every Muslim knows what is their basic fundamental responsibility. Muslim know what is halal and what is haram. They have from the very beginning, from the very childhood, they bring up with all this teaching that we taught them everything. So please clarify this. There is a confusion with the board. Board should divide a line between what we are dealing with abroad, what we are dealing inside.
Sure. So, Mr. Trivedi, your heart may be in the right place, but the message you're sending is not right. That is what your rivals seem to say.
No, Poonam, I am very happy. I won't have been able to put the things in a better way than Mr. Tariq Khan, my friend. The two people get together. What I understand is two people get together and one person say that you issue me a certificate because I want it. The government does not need it. The people do not need it. The people who are going to consume do have no understanding of it. And we get into it. You issue a certificate. Everybody feels very happy about it. And my product sale goes up. You take money and start issuing certificates without any monitoring system, without having any authority whatsoever. If we go into nitpicking, that I can even come out of the statement that if we go to a hotel and even the waiter certifies that, well, this is the vegetarian, this is non-vegetarian.
Yes.
We are not nitpicking here. We are talking about perception, the perception of the people who are going to consume. The 80% of the people who are going to consume will not understand who issued the certificate, what the certificate was.
Yes, and that brings us to the larger question, if there should be a regulatory body looking into this so that there is no confusing messaging that is going out both in the country and outside, because really, as far as this debate goes, what exactly seems to be the issue of the opposition, many would say, is not very clear. And is it just opposition for the sake of opposition? Unfortunately, there is a lot of debate over this ban. What happens next? Is it legally tenable or not? Because we are going to be seeing this play out in the courts of this country as well. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of time. I thank you all gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. With that, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of Plain Speak. But on the other side, we are going to get into the big debate of civic apathy in Bengaluru, one that repeats more than we'd like it to. Now we have a 23-year-old woman and her 9-month-old daughter who were unfortunately electrocuted yesterday. Who's to blame? Who's going to take responsibility for this criminal negligence and killer apathy? That's the debate coming up on the other side.
Hello, Moto.